looks good on the screen. So yeah, as Brian was saying, we got the Ford GT at Rio, our new hero track.
Yep. And our hero car.
And our hero car.
Yep.
Got some racing in the rain. Got hydroplaning. First game with real working 3D puddles causes hydroplaning, and you know it's pretty exciting. The first time that I got my hands on it, with feeling it through the impulse triggers, I thought that was a cool feature when it first came out with Forza Motorsport 5, and it takes it to a whole new level with the rain and wet and how we do that. Then, Midnight Run with Lamborghini Huracan
on Sebring.
On Sebring.
Yep. And then we've got the 62 Ferrari 250 GTO on Rio.
I think I'll start with Rio. Will Forza Hub continue with FM6?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, our Forza Hub, for those who don't know, is our official Forza Motorsport app, or I guess Forza app on Xbox One, and we've got a ton. In fact, if you should go download that, because we just added a bunch of new features to Forza Hub recently. Yeah. And there's a lot of different ways you can get cars and money when Forza Motorsport 6 launches. Forza Hub is going to be integral. You can use it based on your tier level with Forza Rewards. You can earn cars. You can earn up to 25 million credits when you start the game, depending on your tier level and the other games you've owned. So yeah, get Forza Hub, find out where you sit, and learn how you can get more cars when Forza 6 launches.
So you just saw the Ford GT, and like they said, it is in person here.
Yep.
It looks just as beautiful on this screen as it does in real life in person. It really does.
It's astonishing. It's a beautiful car. You know, I was so excited when I was privileged to hear the news that not just that we would have the car, but the fact that Ford was doing this car. They were making a brand new GT was just monumental news in the automotive industry, and you know, we were lucky enough to be sort of in on that news early. And then to have the car announced in January and to announce Forza Motorsport 6 at the same time was just fantastic. It was just it was magical. And you know, the thing about that is it was great to say yes, Forza 6 is coming, and the Ford GT is on the cover. But it's even better now because we can actually talk about the game. Right. At that point, we couldn't say much.
All right, so we skipped a few questions here. First, did he say Rio track? Yes, this is our new Rio de Janeiro. It's not a real world track, but we laser scanned the environment, created kind of a fictional, what could be awesome track.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Rio, if you're a longtime Forza member, in the original Forza Motorsport back on Xbox, so I say that just for context because this is an entirely new track, right? It's set in the same city, of course, but it's completely redesigned. It's completely reimagined. It really takes all of the lessons that our team has learned over the years. Over the last 10 years, and what makes a great track. And you know, you've seen tracks like Prague, and you've seen the Bernese Alps in past Forza games, and all of those lessons, all those things that we know people really like about a great track, elevation changes and spectacular vistas, they're all present here. You can see the Christ the Redeemer statue at the top of the mountain. It really captures that essence of Rio, and it's also a really fun track to drive.
Really fun. Yeah.
Here's that moment when you're coming down back towards the city. You can sort of see all the mountains and see the ocean. It's just a really spectacular moment. But yeah, Rio has been designed to, you know, obviously it's there to show off how beautiful the game can be, but we also want it to be a fun experience for players to drive.
It's just one of 26 environments that we'll have in Forza Motorsport 6 at launch. I think someone asked, you know, what are some of the key features. I think so far we found that just a lot of the hard-hitting numbers are jumping out to people. Over 450 cars, 26 environments, over 100 ribbons across those 26 environments.
That's right.
70+ hour new campaign, 24 players on the track. I mean, you can just rattle off some really cool statistics with what we're putting into this game. Definitely the biggest Forza Motorsport and biggest game this generation, at least. You know.
And the other part of that is we've already announced a ton of content. We've announced all the Forza 5 tracks are coming back to Forza 6, and we've announced new tracks already. So you consider Rio, we've announced Daytona, we've announced Watkins Glen. Indianapolis Motor Speedway was in older versions, but we've done some refinements to the track now that they've made some adjustments to the infield. And then you've got, like Chris mentioned, 450 cars across 80 different manufacturers. It's just a massive game, and you can do a lot with all of that content in things like our Stories of Motorsport career, 24 cars on the track. You know, it's a huge game. 1080p, 60 frames per second too. Talk about numbers.
Yeah, but we'll get to this in a moment. We're going to step up over the UNSC.
Gotcha. Well, I did finish. I got 6, but it looks like... oh, it's good. Okay, cool. Just on our screen.
So yeah, Chris drove that lap. How did it feel, Chris?
It was great. That was my first time actually using the controller.
Okay.
That. I did it on the wheel with the new Logitech last night. That was awesome.
We should explain. We should explain what the the passenger seat driving. We should explain what the setup here at E3 is like with the VRX seats.
It's pretty impressive. I just got back from the 24-hour Le Mans. I landed yesterday afternoon, feeling a little jet lagged, and I sat in that simulator last night at the showcase event. We were showing it off to our fans and press.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, it woke me up. Like I got out of the seat and I was just like, holy cow, that was amazing because this surround sound, the hydraulics, that new Logitech wheel. It's really impressive. Triple screens.
Yeah, it's a custom build we're doing for E3. We have the hydraulic chair. You could actually go and buy one of those chairs. Now it's going to run you tens of thousands of dollars, but the nice thing about Forza is if you have a setup like that and you hook the chair to it with all the hydraulics, the physics are going to translate. They didn't have to do anything to get those physics to work with the hydraulic system. Now the triple screen setup, that's a custom thing that we've done for E3, but boy, if you got the cash and you want to spend some money on a hydraulic chair, you're going to have that same experience from a driving standpoint. So we've seen Return of the Legend. I think it's time to take a look at maybe some rain racing. What do you think?
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Let's do it.
And while this is loading, I'll try and answer some of these questions.
Go for it.
Some of these good ones out. So can you paddle shift with the new Elite controller? Yes, that new software is pretty cool. You can customize it. It's got the optional paddles that you can put on, customize all the parts. So I'm pretty excited about that myself personally.
And you can save settings with that controller too.
You can. Yeah,
right.
You can switch between like a first-person shooter to your Forza Motorsport.
That is sweet.
Setup to, here's a question here: why should a customer be excited about Forza Horizon 6 if they own Forza Horizon 2 or Forza Motorsport 5? You can switch the controller settings between Motorsport and Horizon. I mean, get pretty specific to that. But to that question, I think what's great about the Forza franchise is every year now we're having a different flavor of Forza. You got Horizon, which brings the open world. The last one being in Europe. Lets you experience that real automotive open world culture with music festival. It's just a really different feel kind of game. And then you have Motorsport with the 6th one having 26 world famous environment tracks. Motorsport is all about the precision, right? Yep. Getting down to that millisecond type accuracy, me versus you, me versus 24 other players on the track. While Horizon's...
Guys, I'm going veteran.
Nice.
I'm going full veteran here. Yeah, I mean, I think, Chris, you hit the nail on the head. This is the biggest game we've ever done.
Yeah.
And we've got 450 cars, 26 tracks, racing in the night, in the rain. Those are features that Forza fans have been asking for a long time. So, to me, it's a game that hits those check marks that a lot of Forza fans have been looking for.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. I'm cockpit only when I drive.
And it's great. You can see the dynamic rain.
Yes.
Adjusting as the speed changes.
As I move left and right, you can see the rain droplets moving in accordance with the direction of the car. And all those rain droplets are physically simulated, and they're all velocity based. So the faster my car goes, the quicker those will go up the windshield.
All right, let's see here. How long is the career? I think I mentioned that earlier. That's pretty awesome. Over 70 hours so far, and I think that's over.
It's a massive career, and what?
Do you know how many championships?
Well, it's organized. Unfortunately, I can't show it in this build, but the career is organized in a really interesting way. We've taken all the content we have, all of those cars, all of those tracks, and what we realize is that we can tell some amazing stories with all of this massive amount of content. And that's really, we have cars from the pre-war era all the way up to modern race cars and sports cars, hypercars, even commuter cars, just a massive amount of content. And that gives us the ability, here comes a puddle, to really tell stories that only we can tell. And so that formed like the basis for our Stories of Motorsport career. And as Chris mentioned, that's a 70-plus hour career. And it's organized into volumes. Oh, I'm off the track here. It's organized into volumes. Oh, well, there's a look at our tire walls. You saw 3D tire walls, the tires falling down as I ran into them. Yeah, no problem.
It's a new feature.
Yeah, it is a brand new feature, and I showed it off pretty well.
Yeah.
So volumes, each volume sort of is a chapter within our career, and those chapters are further subdivided by cars and different tracks. Allows you to go all over the world and experience these cars. Really, the cars speak to the essence of what each volume is about. So, one other aspect of the career mode is that as you race in the career, you will unlock what we call showcase events, and those showcase events allow you to experience different content in the game in a lot of different ways. So you might do specialized race events like autocross or endurance racing, and then you might we also give you the opportunity to feel what it's like to be a pro race driver, or check out very specific race types. And all those showcase events are available off the career path, and as you unlock them, you can enter them anytime you want, and they're all narrated by pro race car drivers and automotive influencers. So it's a really interesting way to experience our content that is not necessarily as sort of straight line as our career mode. And there's 80 plus of those showcase events. All right, you want to try night racing?
Yeah, let's do the night.
Let's do it. I'm gonna leave it to you.
Gotten a few questions here on the Drivatar technology.
All right.
Yeah, we started that 10 years ago with the first Forza Motorsport. Was able to really take it to the next level with Forza Motorsport 5. Learned a lot in Forza Horizon 2.
Yes.
What do you think about what we're doing with it here in Forza Motorsport 6? Like, one of the specific questions are we importing Drivatars? How's
Yes.
that going to work, Brian?
So Drivatars, as Chris mentioned, we rebooted it essentially with Xbox One.
Yep.
But it has foundations going back to the first Forza Motorsport. It's all based on players in Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Motorsport 5. And what we've noticed is that we have all different levels of skill. We have different driving styles that sort of power that Drivatar system. And as we've gone through the millions of players that have been part of the Drivatar system, we've noticed new subtleties in racecraft that the systems learn. So you're talking about, as we imported Drivatars from Forza Horizon 2 into FM6, we noticed things like special techniques with late braking and locking up a single tire deep in a turn. Those are the kind of things that the system now learns, and using the power of the cloud, we can give those tendencies to all Drivatars. The result is cars that feel more alive, opponents that feel more alive. You feel like you're racing against your friends and your family. And yes, to answer your question directly, we are bringing Drivatars over from Forza Horizon 2 and Forza 5 into Forza Motorsport 6. Are you going hard?
Going hard.
All right, let's go. We only go hard here at the Play and Learn.
The driver's seat.
That's right. Hey, I did veteran. I'm one above. Now this is Sebring, and Chris is driving in the Lamborghini Huracan, which is the cover car for Forza Horizon 2. And as you can see, night racing in Forza Motorsport 6 is a very different experience from what you might have played in other games. What we've seen in other games, not just driving games, but just games in general, is that night feels like sort of a dark daytime. In Forza 6, we have, we really want to recreate what it's like to race at Sebring at night. And you have that bright section there in the front where the start-finish line is, where the grandstands are. It's going to feel a lot brighter. But it's not long before you get out here into the back part of the track, where you've really got just stars guiding you, and things are getting dark quickly.
And if your headlights get taken out, you're
going to be in a tunnel of nothing is what you're going to be driving in. And really, that's kind of how we approach. We have these different sort of polar opposite effects. You have something like Daytona, where you're driving under stadium lights and it feels like you're in the middle of the day, or you can be driving at Le Mans, where you're on the backstretch and you're driving in complete darkness, and all you have is your headlights right in front of you. So you have that tension of driving in the dark. We wanted to make sure that we brought all of those flavors of night to Forza Motorsport 6.
Fireworks going off in the background.
Yeah. And I was playing with this demo last night, and I was getting on the backstretch of Sebring, and I was in first place. You're in second place right now. You're doing pretty well. You get on that backstretch, and you look in the. I got far enough ahead of the opponents that I looked in the rearview mirror, and I could see their headlights as they turned onto the backstretch.
Nice.
It's just a really cool experience. I mean, if you're like me and you love Forza, you've been waiting for night for a long time on Xbox One, and it's finally here, and it feels just amazing. It's really awesome to have it.
And with the 26 environments, and then with some of the environments having night, some of the environments having wet, I think it's just really going to add so much variety to the experience, where every time you hop on, with 24 players on the track at the same time, either drivatars or real-world players.
Yep.
We like to say, no two races are the same, because it's always going to be a different experience, always fresh.
And let's face it, I mean, racing at night, racing at rain, they take different skills than racing on a bone-dry track in the middle of the day.
Say, the rain is the great equalizer.
That's right, exactly. And the same really goes for night racing too. I mean, when you talk about the tarmac cools at night, so you've got less grip on the track, which means that there you go. There's your starry night, some fireworks, and some headlights. That's all. That's about all you're seeing. So yeah, it takes. Nice job, second place. So it takes a different skills to drive at night. That's just like in real life. It takes different skills.
And a few people are commenting here on the graphics. Yeah, all 1080p, locked 60 frames per second. Very important in a racing simulation to have that locked frame rate. I
mean, it's important. It's important to Forza for sure. Yeah. I mean, we want to make sure that people that to us that's our bread and butter. That's where we start. Is like any racing game that's coming out of any Forza Motorsport game is going to be 1080p 60.
Any Connect functionality in Forza 6?
Well, we are going to support Connect functionality that Xbox One supports.
Right.
There's no specific Connect features.
Menu navigation.
Yeah,
yep.
But those kind of things that you would expect to see in Forza Motorsport in an Xbox One title will be featured in Forza Motorsport 6. But there's no specific Connect features.
Yeah. So
now we're going to go back to Rio, and we are we're not in the Ford GT this time. We're in the Ferrari 250 GTO. This car. It's not a hypercar like the Ford GT. We included this because we wanted, we wanted to show people the variety of our car list, and you have just 60s sports cars up to Le Mans racers like you see there, and the R8 and the GT. It's just a massive variety of cars. But we also wanted to have something that was a little bit more approachable for folks here at E3. The GT can be a handful, especially as soon as you turn those assists off.
600 horsepower rear-wheel drive.
It's a monster.
Yeah.
So the GTO is a little bit more forgiving.
Someone asked for a third-person view.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's now. Forgive me, I don't race in first person, but I'll do my best here. But it's a
third person. Was it there?
Yes, sorry, third person. I race in first person, but yeah, it's a great idea because it really shows off the beauty of Rio. One feature I really like is if you look there on the left, you see a plane landing at the airport. And you can actually, if you've got headphones on here on the show floor, you can totally hear that airplane coming in for a landing. It's really cool. And you can see spray there on the left coming off the ocean.
So someone was asking about the engine behind this. I think this is the first year we're kind of coming out with Forza tech, or it's a branding of our engine that's been 10 years in the making.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the magic that makes 1080p 60 frames per second happen. With all the cars being detailed inside and out, working headlights, windshield wipers, all of this simulation and its beauty all happening in real time, again at 60 frames per second. It also allows us to do stuff like the 3D puddles and hydroplaning. Yeah, so we just came out calling it Forza Tech, and that is the custom engine that works behind the scenes to make the simulation and the graphics come to life in Forza Motorsport 6.
It's continually evolving, Forza Tech. We're always adding to it. We have Playground Games working with the Forza Tech engine as well. Sort of laid the groundwork for Rain for us on Xbox One, and we've taken that technology for Forza 6 and really tried to take it to the next level because when we do something like Rain, we want to make sure that we're doing our best to redefine what Rain means in a racing game. $25 gift card coming right up. You giving that to me? All right. Oh!
He was distracted by.
I was distracted by a $25 gift card.
Yeah, someone was commenting on the gears here. This is a an older car with 4 gears, so pretty long gears in it.
Yep. It's not a GT in terms of performance, but this is also what, a $25 million car in real life.
Wow.
Something like
one of
that.
the most expensive.
Yeah, one of the most, if not the most expensive car in auction. It's one of them.
We have a request
Not an official car list available yet.
No. We've announced 100 cars, Chris.
Well, yeah, not the complete. Car
Not the
list,
complete
sorry,
car list.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
but if you go to ForzaMotorsport.net, we have announced more than 100 cars for Forza Motorsport 6, including cars like the GTO here. All of the cars that are not drivable here. All the drivable cars, which is the GTO, the GT, the Audi Coupe, and the Lamborghini Huracan, and then all of the cars that are appearing here as like opponent cars. Those are all announced. All of the rewards cars that I was mentioning earlier on Forza Hub, all those have been announced. So we're talking about approaching like 110 cars have been announced already, and we still got, over 300 more cars to announce.
We have a request to show up the rain.
You want to see some more rain? Okay, I want to see Chris drive in the rain, because I did it last time.
All right. So congrats to King Bones. Just won 25 bones. Good job on that.
Nice job, King Bones. Yes, the Hellcat is in, for those who are asking. The Hellcat is in.
Some people are asking about damage in our game. You got the option to turn cosmetic only, which I think both you and I were just doing.
Yep.
I prefer that, so I can hit a few things and keep going. But
yep.
By all means, for the people who want the real experience, they can turn on simulation. Have that car slowly break apart as you run into stuff.
These are Forza Vista cars, right? So what does a Forza Vista car mean? It means that it has cockpits, it has doors that work, they can be tuned, customized, and damaged. We've got 450 of these. So we treat all our cars the same way in Forza Motorsport, and it makes for a great experience for those who love cars.
Drift physics. I mean, is it real tight being a simulation?
We love our drifters.
Yeah.
I know drifters love Forza for its drifting. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things I think you'll see with Forza 6 when you get a chance to play it is we've made some strides with our physics. One of the big innovations in modern cars these days is they're constantly updating their suspension architecture, and we are keeping up to date with that absolutely from game to game. And we've got a bunch of new tire compounds in our game as well. Lots of different widths, lots of different tire compounds. And you'll be able to adjust that. We really embrace simulation. So I think those two things together means drifting is going to feel better than ever.
A lot of people are asking about demo experiences. We hope to have this at a lot of different events. If you're able to get to Comic-Con, that's probably going to be, I think, probably one of the first public playable coming up in a few. I think,
months. Yeah, I actually don't know what's going to happen at Comic-Con,
we'll
but Gamescom probably
Gamescom
be there.
We'll definitely be there.
Yep. So get to Germany.
Everyone
should buy tickets to Germany now.
We haven't announced anything official. But we are working on having some demos, come out like we did last year with Forza Horizon 2 in advance. So
we'll have more to say about all that soon. Now you got to go veteran.
What's veteran here?
No.
Simulation. I can't have that.
No, that's simulation damage. You can turn that off.
I did.
There you go.
All right, we're good here.
All right.
All right, first time driving in the rain.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you'll like it. You just got to avoid the puddles, or you should actually drive into them so you feel what it.
I have done that.
Hey, listen, we're from Seattle. We don't mind rain.
No, yeah, should be impressive.
Well, actually, it's funny when you hear when you hear the designers talk about how they sort of designed the rain experience. They actually bring that up. They bring that experience up of like, you know what it's like when you drive into a puddle and that moment where your heart sinks and you've like lost control of the car, even at like 40 miles an hour. We wanted fans to experience that in Forza Motorsport 6, except you might be going 80 or 120.
Right.
All of our puddles have accurate drag and elasticity and all those type of features that make them feel real, part of this world. So you'll feel it when you hit them, for sure. And that really also speaks to our surfaces. You guys might remember we were talking about, with Forza 5, we were talking about physically based materials. And back then we were talking about how light sort of reflects and refracts off of all of our different surfaces in the game. It's okay. With Forza 6, we're talking about porosity. When we're talking about wet weather, we're talking about porosity values, and every surface has a porosity value, which determines how porous that surface is. And the more there you got it. There's some hydroplaning. There's another puddle right there. And the more porous a surface is, the less reflective it gets, and water accumulates differently. I think that's where I hit as well. That's a deceptive turn. Just let them all go by.
No, I'm going to use my favorite feature.
Rewind. Rewind, baby.
Try this one more time.
That's right. So yeah, all of our surfaces, we have 148 different drivable surfaces in our game, and all of them have wet and dry values. We have puddle effects for friction and elasticity and drag, and all of that sort of works together. So you have how the puddles look. They look great in the game, but they also affect your car, and those systems are unified because it's not just about rain as a visual effect. It's about how it affects your cars as you're driving.
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience.
Yeah, and you know, it's something it takes a little getting used to. Even in cockpit view, dealing with those rain droplets, you can just stare at those for a while because they literally just move with the car. It's amazing.
So there are hydroplaning effects?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have. You can just get a single tire in a puddle, and you'll feel that puddle dragging the car further into the puddle.
Drafting physics.
Yep. We got drafting. Absolutely. That's been in Forza for a while. Really, for us, it's that idea of we want to recreate that experience of a race, of what it feels like to be on a track. Whether it's raining, whether it's dry, whether it's at night, all of those things are recreated in exact detail. That's what we aim for. Let's see. Petrovsky is asking about pit stops. Yes, we will have pit stops. You can pit, you can refuel your car, you can repair damage, that kind of thing.
What do you guys want to see? Any suggestions here?
I wouldn't mind driving in the rain. I haven't done it yet.
There you go. Getting more rain.
In the no, this is the rain experience. I'm gonna back out. I don't know if I can. Yes, okay. I'm going back to the Huracan.
Question here about will all the cars be playable in free play off the bat, or will you have to unlock them?
That's a good question. I believe they will be available in free play. I do know that the showcase events I mentioned earlier will give you opportunities to try cars in very specific situations, such as early in the game you can try an LMP car on Le Mans. You don't have to buy that car. I believe you'll be able to access these cars via free play as well.
Drifting Pros X, I like your style. First gen GSX, third gen GT3000.
Buy from My City is asking about music. We don't have radio stations in Forza Motorsport 6. That's a Forza Horizon 2 feature, but we do have an all-new, brand-new soundtrack in Forza Motorsport 6 that's really been designed from, really been customized to the experience. So the idea of the music sort of following you and building as the game gets progressively more intense, and then you have this sort of sedate, calming music when you're in Forza Vista just checking out the car. It's a really awesome soundtrack. The audio guys have done an amazing job, both with the sounds of the cars and with the music they put in. I think you guys are really going to love it. All right. Time to race at night. I got a pitch black Lamborghini Huracan for driving at night. I'm going to sneak up on these guys like the Batmobile.
Drive the Expo in the rain. Yeah, that would be.
That would be sick. Absolutely. Yep.
Well, you got the all-wheel drive.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
Launch right off the
if they're gonna get out of my way, then I'm gonna. Well, that happened. But I mean, it's drivatars. They're gonna block you sometimes. They're going to give you an opening, and you just got to make the most of it.
How much are you slowed on the grass, like coming off the track? Is it 360?
Yep, I just drove through the grass there. Didn't slow down at all.
Traction definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you'll definitely, your car will be affected, but yeah. Oh, that is a nice, semi-nice drift. I don't have a lot of audio, so I can't hear the car going red line.
You going manual?
Of course.
Oh, nice, yeah. I was doing that with the paddles yesterday. It's pretty awesome. You can feel it in the hydraulics.
There's a GT right ahead of me.
Yeah.
I think I'm contractually obligated to keep it in front of me.
So a few people are asking about some of the multiplayer stuff. We'll have Forza Leagues. Forza Leagues, thank you.
Yeah, now Forza Leagues is essentially it's ranked competitive races that have strictly enforced divisions based on your skill level and your temperament. So essentially, we're making fast, fair multiplayer that's based on your skill level. So we're not actually going into a lot of detail on leagues at E3, but we'll have more to say about in the summer. But rest assured, we do have this new leagues feature coming, and we'll be talking about it soon.
Yes.
We also have a feature called mods that I wanted to mention that's pretty cool. You know, if you've ever played a Forza game, you know we have this. A choice is really important for Forza fans, and we want to make sure that fans have the ability to experience the game they want. And for some, that means turning on driving assist to make it more approachable. And for others, they might want to turn those assists off. We have this feature in races called mods that is sort of a riff on that assist system, and we have these mods that you can enable that essentially ask you to challenge yourself to do better. And so we might have a mod that puts you at the back of the pack at the start of the race, and if you win, you get more credits because you overcame the obstacles that mod presented for you. So it's a great way to change up the race a little bit and earn more credits as you go.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's one of the things I like about Forza in general that we've done in the last several titles, maybe from the beginning actually, is the assist. As you make it more difficult or more realistic for you, if you will, you get rewarded.
Right.
So you know it like pays to learn how to do manual and make the assists.
Yeah, it literally pays more to do manual. That's a great way of putting it. We want people to we want to challenge people to become better at the game if they want to. So if you decide to try out manual with manual transmission, you're going to get rewarded if you win the race. I've seen people asking about dynamic weather. Our goal with Forza 6 is to recreate the exact specifications of the race we studied. So we tell a story at the studio to folks who visit is like the best and the worst job at Turn 10 is our research team. It's the best job because you're traveling all over the world and you're checking out billionaires' garages and you're getting to check out all their cars. But it also means the flip side of that is like you're going to the Nürburgring and you're going to document every one of the 560 puddles that is on that track. Because we take realism very seriously. So for us, doing a track like the Nürburgring in the rain or doing a track like Sebring means that we are recreating the specifications at that moment.
Those puddles are correct.
Those puddles are correct. Absolutely. I see a question about customization. Absolutely, customization is in Forza Motorsport 6. You can tune the cars, you can paint the cars, and if you're a longtime Forza fan, you're going to love this. You can import your tunes and your paints from Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Motorsport 5. So I want to make that clear. You will have a head start. If you've done your work in Forza Horizon 2 or you've done some paint jobs in Forza 5, bring that stuff over to Forza 6. You'll have a great head start. Back to the GT. This thing is sick.
Yeah, it's just at Le Mans where they debuted the new race version of it. It's
Uh-huh.
pretty cool. Got the Forza Motorsport logo on the side.
I know. I saw it in like the red, white, and blue livery.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Compete next year. Pretty historic there.
I saw a question about endurance racing. I mentioned the showcase events earlier. Whoa, there's a great shot of the tire walls.
Yeah.
That's almost like it. That was like straight out of the trailer there. That was sick. Endurance races, yes, there will be endurance races like the showcase events I mentioned to you earlier, where we're sort of spotlighting different automotive disciplines. One of those categories is endurance racing. So yeah, you'll be able to do some longer races in Forza Motorsport 6. I know people have been asking for that.
That's right. So, what we want you to think about is
The Zen Ninja, you do expert zone designs? Sweet. I want to see him.
He doesn't know anything worse than Horizon, Forza Horizon 2. He did some
He did he?
Oh, nice.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, it's we love all the stuff our community does. We always say like Forza is the home of the greatest painters, tuners, and racers because there's a lot of different ways to enjoy the game, and it's just fun. It's fun. However you want to experience cars, you can do it in Forza.
Even we had Ken Love, and he said he did some amazing creations that people love.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
I think one of the coolest examples of that is, you know, when we were working on the Fast and Furious expansion for Forza Horizon 2, I think you were showing me, Brian, some of the liveries that people designed before we did the expansion on a lot of those cars to just make them look so accurate to those, you know, historic cars from the franchise.
All right.
Another $25 giveaway?
Let's do it. Now, how do people win these?
All they gotta do is type in Duke and spin around.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh, sorry, Corvette.
Oh.
That'll be an expensive fix.
That is a really fun track. Yeah, that's like you said, we had Forza Motorsport 1, but already done for this laser scan. It's nice to have two-player split screen. I know a lot of people.
Two-player split screen, yeah. A lot of folks. You know, it sort of talks to what I was saying earlier about people play Forza differently, right? Like I love getting in a Forza game and playing multiplayer in cockpit, but you might like to play split screen with your family on the couch or something, and someone else might like to just focus on the career. We have all these different kinds of players, and we want to make sure that we're making sure that they have the choice to experience the game the way they want. So split screen's a great addition for that. Is damage toned down in this build? Well, Chris and I have been rolling with cosmetic damage only, so no point in turning on all the damage and breaking down the car, especially if Chris is going to run into all the tire walls.
Try to. Top Gear question.
Top Gear.
Yeah,
yes, we will have Top Gear. We will have Top Gear content in the game. We've enjoyed a partnership with them for a good long while now, and you'll have more to say about Top Gear soon.
Pre-order. So a few people talking about pre-order. Yeah, starting yesterday, right after the E3 keynote, we went live on the Xbox Dash with an Xbox store. You can go to xbox.com and go through that website as well. Standard, Deluxe, and Ultimate.
Yep.
You get some Forza Horizon 2 car packs today.
Yes, you get those as soon as you pre-order.
As soon as you pre-order
the Ultimate Edition, I believe, right?
Yeah. I think
all three of them.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
With the Ultimate, you get early access.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yep.
Before Forza Motorsport 6 comes out, which in the U.S. will be September 15th, we will provide it to the people who pre-order Ultimate.
Yep, you'll get early access. I mean, that's, to me,
pretty awesome.
That's a pretty awesome value right there.
Deluxe gets VIP membership, right? And Ultimate gets the VIP membership
and the car pass.
And the car pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can, if you want more details, you can go to xbox.com or you can go to forzamotorsport.net and find all the details on all the different offers.
Dash.
Absolutely. Yep. Right on Forza Hub. Right on the Xbox Dash. Lots of places to get the information you're looking for.
And at retail, it'll just be the 10th anniversary edition. So we're looking forward to that. A lot of the retailers out there have some pre-order cars as well, so I think you can find some more information on that either on xbox.com, forzamotorsport.net, or at your specific retailer as well. I know a lot of them are already advertising some of the pre-order incentives.
And all of the editions come with the 10th anniversary car pack.
That show up in your garage right away, which is pretty cool. So right off the bat, you get 10 awesome cars.
And what's cool about those cars to me is that they're all sort of taken from the cover cars of previous Forza cars. Yeah, so
custom tune, custom livery.
Yep. They're going to be. You're going to start Forza 6 with a lot of cars, a lot of great cars.
And with 450 total, there's a lot more to collect, customize.
We don't. I see the question about Porsche. If you guys don't know, Porsche was just released. The Porsche expansion for Forza Horizon 2 was just released, and along with that announcement, we said that we will be bringing the Porsche experience to Forza Motorsport 6 in 2016. We don't have any further details about that to share today, so rest assured, once the time is right, we'll be letting you guys know exactly what's happening with Porsche. But for now, enjoy them in Forza Horizon 2 and stay tuned. And I should also mention, when we're talking about cars, when we're talking about tracks, we've got a lot more content to announce over the next, up until the release date.
Yep.
And we're going to be announcing more cars, more tracks all throughout the summer. Fusion GT just pre-ordered Ultimate Edition. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Will it support multi-screen? We have split-screen racing. I see that question. If you mean multi-screen like a triple-screen setup, we have a triple-screen setup here at E3, but that's a custom build. The retail version will not support that. Career mode, I think the easiest way to differentiate the career mode from Forza 5 to Forza 6 is we have so much more content in Forza 6. We have so many more tracks, so many more cars, and that variety of cars means we can tell different stories. So again, I come back to the showcase events when you're talking about you can relive some of the greatest moments in motorsport history. When you think of something like Ford versus Ferrari at Le Mans or something like that. When you have this much choice, when you have this much content to sort of play with that our designers had, you can create these really special experiences that you can't get anywhere else. Can we practice and qualify? So it was important for us in Forza 6 that we put our focus on the driving experience on the track. You will be able to do a practice before your races in Forza Motorsport 6. But for us, it was about getting that experience, whether it's in the dry, at night, or it rained. We put all of our focus on making sure that experience was as good as it could be. What about flying cars? Cars that go in the water. True innovation. I'm not going to answer that. You know the answer to that. You can innovate without having flying cars. The upgrade system, yes, you'll be able to upgrade all of the cars. These are Forza Vista cars, right? So you can customize, tune, damage them. Yes, you will be able to tune your cars. If you're familiar with the tuning system, you'll be able to do that in Forza 6. But like I mentioned earlier, we have a bunch of new tire compounds coming into Forza 6. So that's and you'll be able to tune those as well. So if you're hardcore into tuning, I think you're going to like what you find in Forza 6. Unicorn cars? No unicorn cars. That's a Forza. We had those last game. We had those is in Forza Horizon, maybe. We have what we refer to as Forza rewards now. Unicorn cars back in the day was sort of a way to reward our community members for doing really specific things, and it was cool. But what we found is that a lot of people were missing out on great cars. So we've developed this Forza reward system over the years that lets people get rewarded with cars, with credits for playing the game, and the more they play, the more they get, right? So you can go to rewards.forzamotorsport.net, or you can go to Forza Hub and see your tier level and see how many cars you get. You get credits every month. So it's a different way that we've developed and continue to evolve a way to reward our community while keeping them interested in the game and keeping things fun for them. So. And like I mentioned, we've got a ton of cars that will be available from Forza Rewards in Forza Motorsport 6 on launch day. So you've got a lot of cars, a lot of credits you can earn before that game is released. What's the question? Is the tuning experience identical to Forza 5? It's similar. You're going to have an awful lot of control over what you can tune in Forza Motorsport 6. To be completely honest, I haven't seen the tuning experience yet, so I can't answer that question 100% correctly, but I do know that you will have a massive amount of control over exactly what you want to tune, just like you would expect in a Forza game.
All right, and you've got something done off there yet? We'll get into it. This is a 2.5 minute.
someone's asking about auction house and storefront. What we're doing with Forza 6 is giving people more visibility into the things they create. And what I mean by that is we have a file system now that will allow you to see things like, how many times has my livery been downloaded? How much money have I made off of it? So we want we don't have an auction house or storefront or things like that.
Every time someone downloads your livery, your setup,
you're gonna know. Yeah, you're gonna know. So you are gonna have that visibility into the things you're creating. You'll be able to find out what's working, what people like, and maybe what people don't like so much.
Favorite new feature?
Car clubs. We don't have car clubs in Forza 6. So for us, we're really excited about leagues. And I mentioned leagues in passing earlier. Those are, for those who missed it, is ranked competitive races that we'll do that are really sort of strictly divided along your skill level and your temperament. So we'll have more to say about leagues and multiplayer racing soon, later in the summer.
The reflection of the track on the hood of the car is amazing.
Yeah.
The detail.
That goes back to the base materials system. That was something we really focused on for Forza Motorsport 5, was how light reflects off of our different surfaces. So you see things like the steering wheel reflected in the windshield there. It's a really powerful system that makes the game just look that much more real.
PC support. No, this is Xbox One exclusive, built from the ground up just for Xbox One. We're running it on Xbox One right here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sleeper GLH says, let Raceboy at 77 play. Raceboy is here at E3. If you know Raceboy, he's one of our star streamers in Forza. He is actually here. We brought him down here to experience Forza 6 in person, which is awesome. And let's see, Antony R is asking about multiplayer private lobbies. Again, that goes back to that leagues question. We'll have more to say about leagues later in the summer.
Oh, good comment here by Zavindia. Yeah, you could stream this to Windows 10. It's a new streaming feature. So if you wanted to play on your PC in a different room,
sure,
you have that option. It's showed off in Forza Horizon 2 a lot. I see that all the time.
Yep. Let's see.
NASCAR stock cars.
You
got Daytona.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have the track. We are going to be announcing a ton of cars over the next 2 months. Stay tuned.
Oh, we got another giveaway here.
They want to see rain again. I can go back and do rain again, no problem. Let's do it. Let's take a third-person view of rain this time. I usually drive in the rain so I could show the rain droplets on the windshield, but we'll do a third person as far this time. For some reason, I like my Audi cars black. For some reason, I just love black Audi cars. They look awesome in that color.
I love black Ferrari.
Black Ferraris?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, red's classic.
Yeah. No, I'd probably pick black.
Yeah. Like, ever since Kobe showed up, it's like 360 Spider.
Right. Yeah. VX Trey is asking about, does temperature affect car performance? Yes, it does. At night, the tarmac is going to cool, and that's going to reduce the grip of your tires. So when you're racing at night, your lap times are going to be affected for sure.
Sleeper something, just one, $25. Congrats.
Nice job, Sleeper.
You guys know where you're going next?
All right, let's get some third-person racing going.
Can you release it today, please? Unfortunately not. Still gotta.
What's that?
Can you release it today, please? Unfortunately.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's just go ahead and do it.
All right. Yeah. Since you guys.
You asked for it. You guys are so cool. Let's do it.
But again, September 15th for the U.S., September 18th in EMEA, and I think it's September 15th actually for most of the North America and South America regions. And then if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition on Xbox.com or through the Xbox Dash, you'll be able to get early access to the game sometime before September 15th. When will we get a demo? More to share on that, but we are working on that.
Oh.
Before launch. Logitech 920. Do you remember it's the new Logitech wheel that we just announced a few days ago. It's pretty impressive. We got it here with the Fanatec wheel. Can't remember the name of the exact model, but it's really nice. It's great to have multiple accessories out now for the Xbox One with Forza Motorsport, the Mad Cats, Thrustmasters, the new Logitech one, and the Fanatec came out with that adapter that lets you use the really high-end Fanatec wheels with that. But you're
gonna have an embarrassment of riches for controllers, like the Elite controller.
Elite controller.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. All right, here's the turn that got me earlier. I'm gonna approach this like a 90-year-old grandma. I'm gonna get around this turn. There we go. That's how you do it. Actually, that's not how you do it, but that's how you get around it. You can see, man, right there, that puddle right in the apex of that corner.
They seem to ignore the under the hood questions. Well, I think we talked about that a little bit earlier, but we can talk about that more. You know, it's 1080p, 60 frames per second, all powered by our Forza Tech engine. Has the engine the same, or has it been overhauled? Well, I think this engine's been 10 years in the making, right?
Right. It's continuously evolving.
Yeah, and I think one of the coolest stories, in my opinion, when I'm talking about the Forza franchise, is how we have Turn 10 Studios in Redmond working mostly on the Motorsport franchise, and then we have Playground Games in the UK also using the Forza Tech engine, working on the Horizon series. And two of these great developers just sharing code, working together, continually evolving the Forza Tech engine to get it where it's at today. We first had Wet and Night and Horizon, and then we just took it to the next level, brought it up to 60 frames per second for Motorsport, as you can see here in Forza Motorsport 6.
Let's see. Petrovsky 1958 is asking.
5 minutes.
If we we got 5 minutes left. If we have experience in real life racing, not me in particular. I think Chris, you've done some things.
What's that? Sorry.
You've done some real life racing before, some track days, that kind of thing.
A little bit, yeah. Got to go to Silverstone about a month ago. Got to do a little open wheel racing. That was pretty cool. It was a little wet there too.
I bet.
Very Seattle, I think it rained on and off that day 10 times, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
And the team actually, the motorsport team actually took a trip down to the Bondurant Racing School in Arizona. I want to say it was late last year, or maybe it was before that. Anyway, and they took like a 3-day course at the Bondurant Racing School because we wanted to make sure that they understood. A lot of those guys have racing experience, they have track experience, they love cars, but there's something about getting with a partner like Bondurant and really learning the ins and outs of driving with a professional school like that, and so they got the full experience, and I think that really informed a lot of the things you're seeing in Forza Motorsport 6. A lot of those racing experiences, on-track experiences, were informed by that. All right, we got one more run. What do you guys want to do?
I think they all want to see rain at night.
Rain again? Let's do. We just did rain, so let's do one more night. I'll do third person, and then we'll call it a day. Go back to let's do this green. Will we see the 91 Honda Civic SI? We got I don't know if we got the 91, but I'm pretty sure we got a Honda Civic in there at some point.
So a lot of people are asking about rain at night. I think you were talking about this a little earlier, but we really focus specifically on trying to do the night for the races and events that make sense. The famous races that have night racing, and the famous races that have wet racing.
Yep.
So that's what we focus on.
Yeah, I mean, just to answer it directly, there are no tracks that have night and rain racing together. I see a question about microtransactions. We learned a lot with Forza Horizon 2, with Forza Motorsport 5, and we're really developing this game and developing the economy to make sure that it's a great experience right out of the box with no microtransactions, no tokens. We want to make sure that economy is balanced. At some point, just like we did with Forza Horizon 2, we might introduce tokens as a matter of player choice, but really it's important to us that we launch the game with a perfectly balanced economy that people are rewarded for what they do. They can get the cars they want, and take advantage of Forza rewards and those credits that you get every month. You can buy awesome cars with.
Can you flip on the telemetry data in this build?
I don't know. I don't think you can. Nope. I did say I do third person, so.
There you go. Nice green.
Yeah. This is super green. And honestly, you can feel the grip level at night is different here. It's a little slippier.
This is, I think, kind of an interesting question. I don't know if you know about this, Brian, but what would you say the team's focused on most right now in finishing the game? Is there any particular aspects that?
It's so much, honestly.
So much, yeah.
It's not like you shut one silo of a game down and then you never touch it again.
Sure.
Things are happening things are happening simultaneously throughout the studio. So, we have people who are shutting down game features, and we have people who are, still working on the UI, still working on posters for the career mode events and things like that. So, I will say that we're always building cars in our game, right? New cars are always coming out in the real world, and that means we need to make sure that we are staying up to date with all of that content. So,
and got a good question here. What game is this?
This is Forza Motorsport 6 for Xbox One.
For Xbox One.
Let's go back to basics. We are at E3 2015 showing off Forza Motorsport 6 on Xbox One.
Available September 15th.
Yep.
Pre-order today, and I think we're getting the sign that
we are done.
We're done. We'll finish this race.
Let's finish this race, guys. Let's finish it hard.
They're pulling Brian away.
No, I want to keep playing. I just talk to you guys all day long.
I don't blame you.
Socially awkward epic. That is incorrect. We will have over 450 cars on disc at launch.
That's right.
And I think someone earlier might have been confused. As Brian said, we will not have tokens or microtransactions
That's right.
available at launch. So no pay to win there as well.
Here we go. How many of these cars can I pass? None. I'll come in 5th place. That's okay.
Good view of the 4GT.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks for the great questions. This was fun. Hope to do it again. Again, September 15th for the US, September 18th. You can pre-order today on Xbox.com. I'll add a lot of the retail stores. Again, thanks for your time.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Chris said. Really appreciate all your guys' interest. I love talking to you guys, and hope you guys enjoy the game when it comes out. Thanks a lot.